What is up, y'all? We are back with another video. What type of video today? We'll be talking a little bit more about Stranger Things Season 5, but before we get into it, definitely smash the like button because it definitely helps, and make sure you're subscribed to the channel. So before we get into this, I want to say just a huge thank you to the Scary family, you all. We just hit 44,000 subscribers. I just want to say thank you for just all you guys just being amazing, man, and just supporting and just, you know, growing with me and just appreciating the content and the videos and things like that. So I just want to say big thank you, guys. Road to 50K, and let's just keep going, man, with these crazy videos. So to get into this, you know, we talked about in my previous videos about Will being converted over to being on Vecna's side or being possessed or something like that. I definitely think we're going to see Will possessed at a point in Stranger Things Season 5 due to, you know, him still being connected to Vecna and the Upside Down. Now, we've seen this happen before where it was taking over Will and he was the spy for basically Vecna and everything. And I think when it comes to this, it's going to end bad with Will. I already told you guys I think Will's going to be unalive because, you know, it started with him and it's going to have to end with him. Now, I want to say okay, we already talked about 11 possibly being unalive just because, you know, she's the hero and things like that, and she might be the one that makes that sacrifice. But we know that Mike actually, you know, cares about 11. That's his girlfriend. He really cares about her and stuff. But also, Will is his best friend. So I think for real, we can see, if it goes the way I think it could possibly go, we can see a battle between Mike and Will. Possibly Will might even get 11 unalive because he's working with Vecna. This is all speculation and theories, y'all. This is nothing confirmed, just having some fun speculating. But I definitely think that can happen where Will is, you know, having a lot of power to the point he doesn't notice his friends, and he's full blown, you know, with Vecna and everything, and he takes out 11. Then Mike ends up unaliving Will, and now Mike is the one with 2 losses, a best friend and a girlfriend, you know. I think at a point, I know, say if we do see Will possessed and everything, and he's with Vecna, once we see him possessed, I don't think we're going to see, like, Will back on the good side again. And when we do, it's going to be too late and he's unalived. I think that's going to be the crazy ending, that Will is actually unalived due to him not being able to control the power he has when he's with Vecna and stuff like that. But I can be wrong. Who knows? Maybe Will doesn't even team up with Vecna, but I think it's coming. I think it's that time where it's going to end up coming, and Will's going to be teams with Vecna. And I think that Max, like I said, she's going to be the spy because she's stuck in her conscience and everything, and, you know, she's basically how Victor Creel was, but she's not blind as of now, from my knowledge. But I think she's going to be the one who kind of tells everyone that Will's actually working with Vecna, but I can be wrong. Getting into this, we seen how Season 4 ended, where basically Hawkins looks like it's apocalypse going on or something. We see soldiers. All 4 gates has split the ground in different directions, and it's like fire coming through, almost like an apocalypse. I think that can possibly be the setting that we get in Hawkins for a little while until we get like a time jump or something. I think that it's going to look like an apocalypse. I think people are going to be going through stuff, you know, looking for food, people in shelters. We got Demogorgons out there, and I think it's just going to be bad, that they're going to have to try to, you know, get things put back together with the soldiers. That's why I think that Hopper's going to be working for the Demogorgon hunters. I think the Demogorgon's going to be out on ground. People have to stay in their house because it's, you know, for safety and, you know, shelters. That's possibly how WSQK plays a part, because maybe it was one of their shelters at a point. But either way, I think that Hawkins is not going to be the same when, we know that it's not going to be the same once we return. It's going to be bad, especially downtown in the city. From what we just seen how it ended, I think it's going to be bad. They're going to have to focus on getting Hawkins back together, but alongside everything going on with Vecna and Will. And yeah, I think that it's going to just be crazy. I'm starting to think that Mike might be one of the ones that's unalive, just because he's you know, stuck in a tough triangle, to be honest. And we talked about basically the situation with Jonathan and Steve and Nancy. And shout out to Patricia, because Patricia brought up in the comments, what if Nancy actually is unalive, just to kind of delete that love triangle, which I think that can be crazy. Just, you know, just kind of eliminate the female so the guys are on their own. That will be insane. I can see that happening too, man, for sure. I think that everybody's up for grabs in Stranger Things Season 5 when it comes to being unalived or, you know, killed. I think yeah, it's going to possibly be that. Possibly 11 will run out of powers, because as we've seen through the previous seasons, 11, she has been getting weak. She'll have to get recharged. We've seen in Season 40 handler and a piece of dough freezer. She's still strong, but I think for some reason in season 5, at a point she's going to get her powers either took away from her. You know, they're going to get took away from her to the point where her friends have to stick together and put their minds together to help 11 for a moment, or she's going to get her powers to the max. Like, she's going to be maximum powered out. And I also think that Vecna is going to be stronger. I think 11, it could be either way. You know, 11 is a little bit stronger, or Vecna is a bit stronger. So I think that Vecna's definitely going to have a lot of power after what he just did with the gates and everything, and Hawkins and with Max. He got the gates open. He's definitely going to be stronger. He might have some things that he's, you know, capable of doing with that power and stuff like that. So I definitely think that Vecna's going to be stronger in this and more dangerous. I want to talk about the end, and I talked about this on my Stranger Things season 5 stream. Definitely check it out, where basically I think potentially and replicating D&D, being that, you know, Vecna's involved and everything. We got Will, we got the boys and stuff. Maybe Will this time, only thing is he's on the bad side, and Mike and Lucas and Dustin has to handle this ending like a, you know, D&D game. You know, the way they're doing and operating and stuff like that. It's like D&D will help them in the series. I don't know how, but I just know I can feel it. I think that, you know, them opening up playing D&D was definitely a big highlight, a point through the TV series. So I think them ending it with Vecna and everything is going to be some type of replicating scene of that opening with the D&D board game. I think they're going to be ending it off with Vecna playing a live action D&D, and I think it also shows with the Hellfire Club, you know, like Eddie Munson. Maybe it's something that Eddie taught them that they use in reality, just so, you know, so paying some, like, you know, homage to Eddie. But I definitely think the ending is going to replicate D&D, or it's going to help them in some way, shape, or form. But I can be wrong, guys. You know, the Duffers already talked about going back to square one and how they want, you know, everything to go back to how it used to be and stuff. So it definitely makes sense for them to do that. I think that it's crazy when you sit here and think about it. After everything that happened with Stranger Things, a lot of them are split up in their own groups, so it's going to be nice to see the core of the kids get back together and try to defeat this whole, you know, thing that's going on in Hawkins and stuff like that. But I really do think that Will's going to be possessed. Honestly, I think that with the Duffer saying this series is going to be, well, this season is going to be a little bit more about Will, is saying that it's going to be something with Will being possessed and everything. I think it's going to be just like how it was, I want to say, like season 2, when he was laying on his back with the gown on and everything. Because if you think about it, Vecna has always been there, man. He been there. He was there with Billy. He was there with Will. That was Vecna the whole time. So I think that, yeah, it's going to be a crazy reveal where the whole time that Will was, you know, working with Vecna or something. And I definitely think that, you know, Will could possibly get his friends hurt. I think he could set them up. I think at a point it's possible he can set them up. Maybe someone saves him before it gets, saves, you know, his friends before it gets bad. Like maybe Max speaks to 11, you know, and, you know, in the conscious, how they always do. And, you know, 11 can visit Max in her conscious, and she tells, you know, 11, like, hey, man, Will's going to try to hurt you guys. He's trying to hurt, or maybe he's trying to hurt Max. You know, maybe he's trying to hurt Max or something like that. But we do remember when Mike had told his other friends, like, it's Will. He's the spy. He's the spy. I think it's still going to be like that the whole time. He still is the spy. A lot of people are saying that they don't think no kids from the core are going to get hurt. I'm going to be honest. I agree. I hope they don't go that far. But it's seeming that anything can happen. You know, like I said, 11 running out of powers. 11 is the hero. So once she checks out and runs out of powers, or she's no longer with us, it is over. I don't know. I mean, they can still stick together and use some of their, like, separate, you know, talents or whatever. You know how Dustin is the brains and everything, and they have to stick together, and that's why I said they can use D&D to beat Vecna, some type of metaphorical layout to beat them. But I definitely think something like that could happen, but I can be wrong. And yeah, I think that Max is going to help them somehow, some way. And I don't think Max is going to be unalived, but I definitely think she's going to help them at a point. She's going to help them at a point. And if she is, I don't know if Max check out, but if she does check out, I think, I'm just saying this is speculation, if she does check out, I think that Max will do it at the end when she finally just helps her friends. If Max checks out, it'll be after she does, you know, her duties of helping her friends go up against Vecna, and then she'll check out. But I don't think Max will check out. But either way, I definitely think it's going to be a different type of Hawkins, a different type of Vecna, a different type of 11, and a different group of kids. This is the final season, guys. Comment down below what you all think about everything we just talked about with the Stranger Things Season 5 video. What do you think is going to happen in Stranger Things Season 5? And do you think that the things we talked about can be capable of happening? Let me know down in the comments. Unfortunately, this is the end of the video. I want y'all to hit me up on my social medias at I like scary. And yeah, you all. I will see you in the next one. Peace.